Well, we all think about marketing, operation, sales, even we think about the customer service, but no business owners are thinking about how they can make their payment receiving so easy. Why? Because as a business, we really don't have options to make payment receiving more easier for our customer and for our business, but not after today. Today in business, banking and beyond, I have a very special guest from Payoneer. Kavish is joining us today, who's leading a fintech giant in the MENA region. Payoneer, which is a leading global brand in the cross-border business transactions platform. So let's dive into the payments world together with Kavish from Payoneer. So let's get started. Kavish, first of all, thank you so much for taking out time and visiting our podcast, Business, Banking and Beyond. I think today is a very special podcast because this covers our banking and beyond. Of course, business always comes in between. It is something which is sandwiched between the banking part, the payments part and the beyond part, which we always discuss in podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting us here at this podcast. I have been through some of the episodes that I've seen in the past and those are amazing. We are truly privileged to be a part of this and talk about Payoneer, talk about a lot of teething issues faced by small and medium-sized businesses and overall looking at creating a lot of more valuable content that the audience can look forward to hearing.
Well, today is something which every entrepreneur, every businessman would be focusing every bit, every second of this podcast. So I really want to make this valuable because as a businessman, myself, I have lots of questions from you. I'll throw upon left, right, center on you. And the most important thing in terms of what we are going to speak is that as a business owner, I have lots of things. And the most time productivity which is going away from me is in terms of the banking and the payments because there is a lot of complications, security which is required. But again, a lot of time for every business owner still is the mind is always on the accounting part, the payments part, that it is going securely. So today we are going to speak about that. I'm really happy on that.
Sure. Happy to share inputs on what the overall banking landscape, if you look at it globally, is ever changing, ever evolving. And happy to share inputs in terms of how Payoneer fits in the overall banking landscape and also share a lot of learnings that we have seen firsthand being a payments company globally on the pain points faced by merchants, on what are the right things to do, what are the things to avoid, and also share some best practices for businesses who plan to move into the region and are looking at running their business successfully. Of course, going back to what you said, without worrying about the payments part at all.
Okay, that brings me to the first thing. Can you explain me in a very short thing what exactly is Payoneer first and what are you doing to enable this platform to the businesses of MENA and to the world?
So I think this is my second best question. The first best thing that I like is what are the pain points that you solve, but I'll take a step backward here and I'll talk about what Payoneer is. So Payoneer is a global fintech payments company. We have been around since 2007. So I would say 17 years we have been in the market globally. We are a NASDAQ listed company. We are on the New York Stock Exchange. We support 6 million plus companies. We work with 2,000 plus marketplaces. So if you look at it, we are a global payments company in true sense with offices all over the globe, employees everywhere in the world. What we do fundamentally as a payments company is we help SMBs manage their payments, run their global business from any part of the world. So be it they are based out of US, UK, Middle East, India, Bangladesh, anywhere in the world, they could run their global business without breaking a sweat about cross-border payments. So bunch of things that we do. We help with pay in, we help with manage funds, we help with payout. So we'll talk about each of this in detail as we move forward, but these are the three broad things that we do. What makes Payoneer special as a payments company is the global reach and the adaptability and the coverage that it provides to a small and medium-sized business. Truly, if you look today, exporter in far south of India could be exporting his home decor to somebody in California. A business somewhere in the Middle East could be doing game development for a publisher, let's say in Netherlands, for example. So the world is a very, very small place right now. Everybody is working cross-border, and that cross-border share of wallet is increasing year on year. If you look at most of the recent reports you have from trusted bodies, you will see that the cross-border trade overall is improving like really year on year. Everybody doing domestic business is now moving into cross-border trade, and they all want that share of pie. Every small business has that aspiration that why don't I have clients in the US? Why don't I have clients in Australia? Why don't I have clients in Singapore? So based on the same theme and addressing the same aspiration of merchants, Payoneer is something which truly fits into this system. You can run your business globally from anywhere, manage payments internationally, and do a lot more with your money without worrying about any restrictions and without feeling that you need to use multiple payment solutions just to do one thing.
Well, I'll really tell you one thing here, which I'm sure Payoneer must have not felt as a consumer. I am a consumer of Payoneer. I'm a client of Payoneer. So I know what it is to use Payoneer and get your payments on time. So if I have to explain in a simple terms, we are in a world where if I want to connect with someone through a video call, it takes a minute or a second, I would say. If I have to reach somewhere, I have to take a flight and I can go there still. But when I speak about normal traditional banking, I would not say any other banking, traditional banking, if I speak about, it takes minimum 2 days, 3 days to receive a payment. And still there can be rejection, sending IBAN, sending this, sending that. It's really, I mean, if I am selling something, I should not be in double mind that whether I would receive my payment, and second, how much time it will take to receive the payment. So does that solved by Payoneer?
Yeah, so I think what you called out is truly the biggest pain point for SMBs, is being able to receive payments swiftly and making payouts seamlessly. Both of these pain points are addressed by Payoneer. In Payoneer, what merchants, clients typically get, they get virtual local receiving accounts, as we say, as in the Payoneer language. They get receiving accounts in 10 different currencies.
So let's go step by step.
Sure.
If I am a business owner and I want to start working with Payoneer, which I am, if I want to start, what are the first steps and how does Payoneer helps me in different stages of my journey as a business, starting from opening of the business account?
So opening a Payoneer account is super simple. It's a fully online process. You go and you enter your company details, or you could sign up also as a freelancer or as a company. Let's talk about business accounts. You enter the company details, you login into the account, you complete the verification, KYC, and the prerequisites which are there. It's a very seamless process. No part of the process is offline. So you do everything online, and it's a fully self-serve model where you don't really need somebody from Payoneer to guide you. So you could do it all online. So that activates your account. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is ability to receive funds. Now, once you activate your Payoneer account, you could go and enable the local receiving accounts in 10 currencies that you have.
Before that, how much time it takes to open the bank account?
So typically, if the documentation is very clean and straightforward, like the quality of the documents is great, and the company owner has everything readily available, they are able to upload, let's say if Payoneer would ask for 10 things, they are able to upload all 10 things at one go. You could expect the account to be live from anywhere in a few hours to up to a business day.
Okay. So maximum 24 hours.
So if everything is perfect. If things are not perfect, there could be a little bit of back and forth in terms of our teams requesting some additional documentation, which could add a day or so. But what I have seen with the new age companies, they have pretty much everything on the cloud. So,
and well, as you know that we are also able to help. We are banking consultants, so we are anyways helping all the clients to do everything with Payoneer and many other
correct
banks and providers. Yes, you can continue after that.
So once that part is done and once the documentation bit is complete, you see your account is active. The next obvious step is to go and activate your local receiving accounts, which are in 10 different currencies. So you can suit yourself. If you only need USD and Euro, you only activate the 2 currencies and don't really activate the remaining 8. Once you
But you have the option to get 10 currencies.
you have an option to activate 10 currencies, which also includes a Swift dollar wire account and a euro account. A Swift dollar account is an account that we issue with Citibank in partnership with Citibank globally. You could use that account to receive payments from clients anywhere in the world.
Okay.
And the local receiving accounts can receive accounts from that local market. For example, the GBP account can receive payments only from the UK in GBP. The euro account can only receive payment from the euro in euro. The Singapore dollar account likewise can only accept from Singapore. So you see all these accounts are activated. The best part is these accounts are unique account numbers for every Payoneer user. So the local receiving accounts, like I mentioned, they are like in 10 different currencies, and the clients can receive payment from that local market. So that's the receiving side of the thing. A lot of digital companies also want to send a payment link. Like for example, if you get a small order or your client.
This part I really don't want you to say so easily. I know this feature of Payoneer, and this is exceptional. See, when we have to receive payments, we have to send bank account number, purpose code, IBAN number, Swift number, and then customer, when he is going online on his online banking, he will open it, he will tell someone, he will fill on the details, he will send me screenshot. It's like a total waste of time, which I mentioned when we started, that when I'm selling my product, I should not be thinking about receiving payments. That's the most unproductive thing I would be doing. My point is I have to create my product, grow my business, sell it, not how I will receive the payment. So in that case, the feature, correct me if I'm wrong, the feature says that I can create payment link of my own account, send that link just like any other payment gateway. Of course, you cannot integrate on your website, but you can create the link, in which many cases, many of the payment gateways which are providing in UAE is a different service provider. So you have your business account or a personal account, then you take a payment gateway on top of that, then you link both of them, then you go on your payment link gateway, create a user link and then send it. But in case of Payoneer, you're getting a bank account. For the same, you can create pay by link, very simply send it, get the payment. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. That's exactly what we do. And the pain point, again, it solves for merchants or companies, is the fact that a lot of the payers only want to pay via cards. So cards is a very popular thing in the Western markets like US, UK, Europe, and they really don't want to do a bank transfer. So that problem is easily addressed by sending them a payment link and then they paying using a Visa, Master or Amex.
So is there any charges on getting this payment?
Yeah, so we do charge a standard processing fee, which is a 3% fee that we charge on the card payments alone. The other payments that come into the Payoneer account, we don't charge anything on.
Okay.
So the card payments is something which is an additional card processing fee of sorts that we charge for the payments that come in from anywhere in the.
So the first thing is creating the account, got activated, receiving the funds. We have normal bank transfer option, which you can transfer locally into the local bank account.
Correct.
The second option is you can say send pay by link and you can get the payment. What next?
So these are the two things which you can do to receive the payments. One third thing, a less spoken feature about Payoneer, is that your clients may also have a Payoneer account. They also may have a Payoneer balance, because since it's a global product, we started off saying that it's a global payment solution. Your clients may also have a Payoneer account. They could make you a transfer from their own Payoneer balance to your Payoneer balance, and that happens almost instantly. So if for example, if you need to receive $5,000 from a client in the US, and if they already have a Payoneer account, they could transfer the balance from their Payoneer to your Payoneer instantly. So that's a third way to bring money into your Payoneer account. Next thing is to have multiple balances, which of course is very synonymous with having local receiving accounts. You are able to maintain balances in 10 different currencies, I would say. And you could move money in between balances as well. So if you have...
Is there any treasury charges or something if you're maintaining 9 different currency balances?
No. So we don't charge anything which is more like maintenance or an average balance or a minimum balance of sort. These are some of the things which are a core part of the product, and we don't charge a fees to it.
Okay. So basically, if I have to maintain 9 different balances, I can easily do it with Payoneer, which is much more difficult if we have to speak about the traditional banks.
Correct.
What about withdrawal of funds?
So payout, again, being able to make payments to any part of the world, to any supplier, to any contractor, to any employee or any freelancer is again a key need for clients. With Payoneer, you could make payouts to any local bank account as beneficiary in any part of the world. Let's say we have a client who launches into the Middle East and they do trading of agro products, let's say, and they want to make payments to their supplier in China. They receive the payment in their Payoneer from Europe, and they keep a certain percentage for them, and they want to make rest of the payout to China. So they could easily make payments in the local Chinese yuan currency to a local Chinese bank account. Typical on the payouts, it takes up to 1 business day for the payment to be credited to the recipient, and the number of currencies that we support is a big plus. So a lot of exotic geographies in Africa are easily covered with Payoneer.
Which normally, if we have to speak again about traditional banks, it can take a lot of time because you are not in global in nature. You will follow that same structure, and I would not say that traditional banks faces problem in sending the money out, but it is the process which is followed. You have to go to branch, fill a form. Even if it is online banking, you have to go through a lot of checks before your money is actually wired.
So what you exactly said truly differentiates Payoneer from traditional methods is that it's very global in nature. So that's the advantage that you get when you work with a global player, like in terms of managing your payments and payouts. So bank transfers is one. The second thing is something very interesting, which is called the Payoneer cards. We issue the Payoneer card in partnership with MasterCard, who is the issuing partner in terms of the network that we use in terms of issuing the card. The card is available in physical and virtual format both. So you could have multiple virtual cards and you could also apply for these cards in 4 currencies, which is dollars, euros, US dollars, euros, Canadian dollars and pounds.
Okay. Which is a requirement for most of the clients because a business owner is truly global in nature. So why not his card? And mostly people have this query that when they are going out, their cards get blocked, they're not receiving OTP. So how do you cater to that?
So I think most of these things are very app controlled in Payoneer. I would say we have a state-of-art app which has all the features in terms of you can configure the Payoneer card in Apple Pay and other places. So anywhere you go in the world, you travel, you buy coffee or you pay a supplier or you are on a purchasing trip. Let's say, for example, if you're going to China or Vietnam or Turkey or any of these, India or any of these markets on a purchasing trip, and you have to buy samples for the global business you can just easily tap your Payoneer card.
Well, this is a very lesser known fact, but I am a really victim of this. Then when we go out, we feel that if we have a MasterCard or a Visa card, it is already Apple and a Samsung wallet enabled, but that's not truth. So I really wanted to uncover this, that even if you have a Master or Visa card, that does not mean that you can use that in Apple wallet. But being a Payoneer customer, you are issuing MasterCard, but you can use that in Apple.
Correct. You can use that in Apple Pay. And additional thing which is very, very critical, I would say, to digital companies. Digital companies run a lot of online ads. They spend heavily on web servers. They use third-party applications to run their business, and all the time they need to spend online. So that need to spend online can be easily catered with a Payoneer card. They could use the Payoneer card in all these places online, and whatever balance that they have in the Payoneer account is automatically debited in all of these places. So eventually Payoneer becomes a one-stop payment option for them, where they manage the pay-ins and they manage their online spends in different currencies. So for example, if you run a digital business and your customer base is Australia, so you will want to run ads in Google Australia, you would want to run in Facebook Australia.
That's true.
And you want to run ads in their local currency. So all of that becomes very easy with Payoneer. The ease by which you can configure these cards is truly phenomenal, I would say, and it makes the life easy. At the end of the day, I think even for Dhanguard, the objective is to act as an enabler and make the life easy for merchants launching into the Middle Eastern geographies. So exactly, it's very, very synonymous of what we do as Payoneer. Truly makes life easy in a lot of different sense.
Well, the point which you mentioned about online spends, as we all know as a business owner, there is 60% online spends which is going on. Marketing is huge. And many other things if we speak about, even if I'm not a marketing agency, still I'm running ads, running marketing all across the world. And not just the Google Meta or anyone else, we have influencers around the world. We have so many things. So we are truly global payments we need. And then when we pay into AD, we have always this currency charges, plus the accounting becomes difficult. So when you are paying from the same currency and it is going from that same account, from the same card, it really helps.
And what also additionally helps is Payoneer integrates into accounting software solutions. You work with a lot of accounting platforms like Zoho, QuickBooks, Intuit, for example. So Payoneer integrates with all of these platforms as well. So what you are receiving, what you are spending is also in sync with the accounting softwares that you have.
So you mean to, if you can elaborate this more point better, because as you know, as Dhanguard, we help form companies, we help in terms of banking, like even if Payoneer or any other bank, when customer is coming to us, it's our responsibility. That's what we are known for, that we help him how exactly he can navigate in the banking and the payment sector. Because when we are forming business, it's not just a business. You really need to grow. And when your business grows, actually Dhanguard grows. So we really help them navigate the whole process. There, we are into accounting, VAT, bookkeeping as well. And we are doing all this for our clients. So if that point you can...
Yeah, so I'll just do a simple double click on the accounting bit. So what we do is once you receive funds, you make payouts. All you also want to do is you also want to connect it to your accounting software as well. So you could connect the Payoneer account to a Zoho, to a Intuit, to QuickBooks, for example, to Xero as well. And you could also export all of your transactions for accounting purposes. Again, saving a lot of manual hassle in terms of making Excel exports and then putting there. So that sync, that connection, that technological partnership is already in place with the top players globally. So that makes life a lot more easier in terms of the additional compliance and the additional manual effort that comes with running a global business.
Well, I really feel like that the way you and Payoneer simplifies and tells such good features in a simple, calm and a way is really interesting. You cannot imagine how much time it saves for a business when your bank account is directly connected with the accounting system. And hardly there are 1 or 2 banks currently in the MENA region who are able to do that, traditional banks. But if Payoneer is doing that, is really exceptional. I haven't currently integrated my system, but definitely I am going to do that, because I understand that relying on Excels can be really dangerous for your business when it really is about payments. There is always a mistake. When you are directly connected, when the payment is going, it is directly getting recorded into your accounting system. It really helps. All the process, every month end, we take at least 7 to 10 days bank reconciliation. We call this process. In this case also it will be required, but at least I don't need to do manual entries into the system. Every entry is there, narration is there, everything is there. I just need to map my payments with my invoices, with my expenses.
Correct, exactly. So I think what you said rightly scopes out a big effort that an SMB has to make at the end of the quarter, at end of the financial year, and all of that is taken away by just a simple integration that we already have in place. Additionally, I would also like to add, since you spoke about the pain point of doing compliance, the pain point of managing expenses and doing accounting, a business also faces a lot more challenges. Like, for example, if you look at Dhanguard, you are acting as enablers for companies across the globe. Like, you would have some special focus and like attention to some specific geographies, but what I see truly is that you work with clients all over the globe. You enable them to launch in the market, in the UAE region specifically, and I think you have like a full team of very specific strategy consultants who do all of those things here in this market. So what you are doing essentially is enabling. Merchants also sometimes need a lot of support in local markets as well. So what we offer is something called as a Payoneer partner directory. We have a network of 5,000 partners all over the globe who basically help with local challenges in a market. So for example, if a merchant is looking at cataloging partners, they are an e-commerce company and they want to convert their listings from English to German, let's say for Amazon Germany, or they are looking at doing taxes in Germany, for example. If while they are registered here, they are exporting there and they would need some support there. So we give them access to a lot more partners in these local geographies as well, and make their life easy. So the idea is to build an ecosystem very similar to yours. So what you are doing today is educating merchants on some very basic things for which they will run from pole to post figuring out how should I do my company, how should I do my bank account, while you are making a lot of those things super simple for these people and taking a lot of initiative in creating such valuable content. What we do something similar on the same lines by helping merchants get access to more number of companies and partners across the globe, like logistics. Somebody looking at importing a container of goods from China to the US. They could use logistics partners that are empaneled with Payoneer and use those partners because those are vetted and we know that a lot of our high value merchants use them. So since like a lot of our merchants got introduced to Payoneer because Dangad advised them on the right banking partner, which is your expertise in true sense. In the same way, a lot of different enablers in different geographies, different parts of the world, different corners of the world use Payoneer or they rely on Payoneer for us introducing them to other needy businesses who may need some support. So that's like a whole ecosystem play I'm talking about.
Well, I'll speak about this extra mile thing. I always call that every business to that scale. Dangad is doing a lot of things in which we always go extra mile. Other than what is our core business, it is not about our business at the first place, it's about customers' business. So when you have customers who are into payments, who are doing everything on you, you realize that you have to go and do this thing extra mile. Same things, many things Dangad does, that it is not core of our business, but it is our intent to help the customers. I'll come on to that point and we'll discuss more on that. Before that, I'll again touch base on what we were discussing about the accounting part. I feel like that when you're starting your business, there are a lot of cost which comes into it. It's not just the license. Like we speak about, Dangad is helping you to set up the business, then it comes banking. But at the same time, it is important to understand what other costs are coming. There, I feel like that a lot of businesses face complexity and waste a lot of money doing the accounting sense. And when you are especially a freelancer, a small business, you cannot afford to have somebody for your accounting all the time. You can be reliable on yourself as well. So there also, if we speak about freelancers, small e-commerce companies, the features which Payoneer is offering really helps them. Again, speaking about the pay by link, local accounts in your country, and then this accounting configuration as well. Of course, you will need a consultant, an accounting company where they can help you in terms of VAT, in terms of corporate tax. But I really feel like normal entries on a small scale can be done through the software itself.
Correct. So while the heavy lifting part of operating in the market truly needs an experienced consultant, an experienced enabler who can like yourself, who can advise the client. For the things which create a lot of headache on a day-to-day basis could be solved by Payoneer, which is like syncing to their accounting software, doing payouts, spending on cards, and having a one-stop payment solution to do all of that is something which is much more downstream. If I look at the upstream work, which is again a lot of heavy lifting, an experienced consultant like Dangad comes like to the rescue for the merchant.
Well, speaking about the extra mile again, you have mentioned that you help him even in terms of logistics, in terms of cataloging, getting the right product from different market. Can you detail that a bit? How compliant is that, and how confident the Payoneer customer can be on that platform, considering it's not your core something, it's just an extra mile service which you're giving to the client?
So I think today most payment companies or technology companies offer like very strong solutions like tech. We are like in the most evolved age. I am like a 90s person, so we are in the most evolved stage in terms of what tech could offer. What it truly differentiates is the ability to go the extra mile. I think that's something that is in the Payoneer DNA, in the values that we have as an organization globally. And that is the thought behind having a global partner directory. So that is also a thought behind being present in local markets, having in-ground teams, on-ground teams, and doing for merchants. What we do is we spend a lot of effort and time in understanding what service providers, what partners are being used by successful companies. So if a successful business in Middle East or in the US or in India is doing really great, and there are a certain set of service providers that they use on a day-to-day basis, we want those service providers, we want other merchants to also get access to those service providers. So that makes life a lot more easier, and that truly creates an ecosystem. While the pay in, pay out, holding funds and all those things are truly what the platform does, if we can go an extra mile and help those merchants do a lot more with their funds or run their operations much more easily. I remember working with your team and helping a lot of our merchants navigate in the UAE region by working with your team, and that has been like a close association we have had for years now. But in the same way, a lot of different areas of the business for any company is logistics, advertising, local compliance in European regions, cataloging, translation. It is also about, let's say, anything which has to do with local policies or anything in the local market in more complex economies like China, Vietnam, and all those countries. So we work with some partners in each of these markets and who are trusted by few of our larger clients, like companies who have more established, more number of years of experience, more payment volumes, more number of employees. So what we do is we do a lot of local events in terms of local chapters in these markets and invite a lot of our other merchants who are still in that growing phase. Maybe they are in that 0 to 1 journey. And we help them get access to some of these evolved partners who help them solve very specific pain points. So let's take an e-commerce company in the Middle East region, sells very successfully to US. They sell on Amazon.com, they sell on Amazon UK. But for last few years, they have been struggling to launch on Amazon Spain, Amazon Italy, Amazon Germany, Amazon France. The reason is that their content does not click. The listing that they have on Amazon.com does not sell really well in France. What they need is that localization effect. What they need is that local language support. What they need is local imagery. So to do a bunch of those things, you need a partner who has already done it for French companies, who has already done the same thing for German companies. So we help merchants get access to few of those things, so which truly differentiates in a way that we value about that merchant. And at the end of the day, if the merchant grows, we also grow as a payments company with improved volumes and all those things. And the relationship truly becomes symbiotic in nature. So they depend on us. And
I really feel like on the same note that once a business understands that his customer growth is actually his growth, that is where the synergies and relationships build for long term. On the same note, Dangad also tries a lot of things. As you know, we have our own co-working space. Recently, we have launched our own incubation center as well, where we call businesses for networking. We call it Business Networking Mastermind, which is another thing which the team is doing. So we call people there, we give them guidance, we give them all what is required to grow the business, together being partner of Dhangar. So I feel it is a responsibility, and at the same time it makes a business sense as well. See, we understand that we all are businesses. If we don't make money, the business owners who are watching us, if we cannot make them money as well, then there is no sense of being there. So, and truly speaking, in business sense also, we have to do these things to grow our customer, and together that we grow as well.
No, I think a co-working space is the best way to breed a lot of startups. I'm sure a lot of top tech companies started from co-working spaces and went on to become like multi-billion-dollar enterprises globally. So I think a co-working space in Dubai, which gives access to tech companies, and a lot of networking happens, and a lot of talent exchange also happens, right? So if there are 5 tech companies with multiple engineers working, and these all people talk to each other, and there is a lot of cross-pollination and networking which happens, which I think is a great initiative in a market like Dubai, locally here. And if you get access to something like a co-working, or if you create that ecosystem, that also truly differentiates in terms of, and like truly in sync of you being an enabler into the market, not just being like helping them form their company, but helping them find their feet is something that truly differentiates.
Well, again, that follows the motto of Dhangar, that the business is something, the business owners are someone who really wants to focus on the core of the business. They cannot be really worried about the miscellaneous of the business which follows together. Once you grow, be it starting of your business, be it banking, then it's about payment, then about your office as well. So we always manage that aspect, that yes, we really want to help businesses and all the miscellaneous of the business, so that you focus on what is required to be.
No, I think that's very synonymous with somebody. Truly, it's also about caring for your clients. So since you truly, like, for most of the Dhangar clients who ended up using Payoneer, what I have heard is something that we call internally as voice of customer. So the voice of customer that we have from the clients is that they found a lot of support. Dhangar introduced them to Payoneer, did the end-to-end assistance in helping them launch them on Payoneer, helping them receive their first few payments as well, and being like that perfect buddy that you need when you are launching into that new market. So I think it goes way beyond enablement. And again, we are truly blessed to be working with you. So,
well, thank you so much for mentioning that time to time. Kavish, moving on next, I really want to know that as a business owner, for me, I have used Payoneer, so I'm able to digest whatever you say. But the business owner, as a DNA itself, protecting my company, protecting my business, it becomes little difficult to digest all what Payoneer is doing. I can feel it, but to make the people feel, tell me what exactly you do which really enables you to create that level of platform, security, and in terms of global reach as well.
So I think I'll break down the security part into a few sub things, right? So security in itself is a very broad term. So is it security of the platform, security of the funds? Is it security of access, like being not getting hacked, or like getting unethical people getting access to your account and all those things? So I'll try to touch upon each one of these. Fundamentally, since the time we started as a private company in 2007, and then from there we grew in as an organization globally. What truly stands out for us right now is the first thing is the NASDAQ status of the company. So we became like a NASDAQ listed company. We are on the New York Stock Exchange, which is in itself is a testament to our platform, to our product, and to the way we operate securely globally. So like for anybody who is looking or wants to give a thought about why they should move on to Payoneer, is that they are not dealing with a small company or a just started fintech startup. They are dealing with a mature company who has that kind of infrastructure to manage their business. That's number one. So again, I'll touch upon these 3-4 things as a broad head and the security. Second is a global reach. It's trusted by 6 million plus clients. Plus it is trusted by 2,000 plus marketplaces. So we integrate with Amazon, Walmart, we integrate with Noon, for example. We integrate with freelancer.com, Upwork, and a lot of global brands, they are integrated with Payoneer. Airbnb, for example. All these companies pay out using Payoneer. So we are integrated with some of the finest Fortune companies in the world, which should give some additional level of confidence that if the big Fortune companies are trusting Payoneer, it should be okay, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is talking strictly about the data security part of it. We are a PCI DSS compliant company, which is the highest status which is given to companies that handle customer data. So be it Facebook, be it Google, be it Twitter, for example, all these top companies, they are all PCI DSS level 2 compliant companies, which is the highest status which is given to companies who are handling customer data. That's number 3. Number 4, in terms of the safety and security of the funds, which is like the biggest concern for anybody. Will my funds be safe? If I am holding a balance of $50,000 in Payoneer, will it be there? Will I lose that money ever? And all those things. So these are very valid questions. And if I would have been a small business, this would have been my question number 1. Are my funds safe? So with Payoneer, we only work with grade A banks. So we work with banks like Citibank, we work with banks like Deutsche, we work with Standard Chartered. We only work with systematically important banks for the economy, banks who run the global economy anywhere in the world and not really engage with really small players in the market. For example, in India, we work with ICICI, we work with Deutsche, which are again tier grade A banks for the Indian economy, and the economy runs on those banks. So we hold our balances with these banks in their accounts, in the accounts that we hold with them. So that should give an additional level of confidence that your money is not being held in an unknown bank in an unknown geography. So I think these are the 4 broad things. And an additional thing is that we have local teams everywhere in the world. So you have a face to the brand. So probably when you are using Payoneer, you will have somebody locally in your geography to speak to if you need something or if you have additional trust gaps. So I think these 3-4 things truly should address the concerns around safety and security of using a Payoneer account.
So we have spoken about the safety and security. What about the customer service? You have already answered that point a bit, that if you are in a specific geography, you can always connect with the team. Can you shed little more light on that?
So again, customer support service is something which is truly important for any business, right? You can't run a business without having access to support. There are 2 things here again. We have like a direct line support, which they can use a chat app and a phone number to reach out to the customer care directly. There could be waiting times for like any other payment solution or any other tech solution. Something that I would request the customers to bear with if that's there. Second, we also have account management, something we call as the customer success function. So if your business volume reaches a certain threshold, you are eligible to get a customer success manager at Payoneer. So for those kind of customers, they have a direct line access to somebody at Payoneer who can help them immediately with anything that they need. If their cards are blocked, they lose their cards. Well, for these things, they have something they want to, they have a question around the fee, or a payment gets stuck for any reason. For example, if there is some confusion, they can approach their customer success manager who will help them with it. But there is a certain qualification criteria for somebody to be eligible for a customer success manager.
Well, now I feel like that I'm speaking to someone who's into payments and banks approach as well, that you are giving an relationship manager, if I have to say in the banking terms. So the people, the business owner who want to use that acumen, use that nomenclature of being into the bank space, that is also provided, that you have a direct line with your dedicated account manager.
Correct. So I will not use the tech term of customer success, but customer success equals to relationship manager, and they do get somebody dedicatedly they can reach out to and they can discuss. And I think most of our relationship managers have a deep understanding of the geographies that they operate in. Like the relationship managers for the Middle East region understand the market really well, the India market understand the India well, Europe is sample. So these are people with local market expertise. So you are not typically speaking to somebody remote in a different geography who will not understand your in-market pain point. So again, these people are qualified people who understand the market, who are maintaining a portfolio of clients and where a lot of homogeneity will be there. So they may understand a lot of the companies like your business, so they may be able to advise you much better.
Well, that is very important point, because when we are speaking about global payments, then you need people who are global in nature, who again, what you speak about, that can understand you better. And if you're from India, if you're from Africa, if you're from Europe, the major challenge is if you're in UAE, although it's a diversified country, but sometimes getting hang of the right person becomes difficult, which is in a normal nature as well. But with Payoneer, you're making sure that because of you have that functionality, you have that tech to make sure that you have right person assigned in terms of the language, in terms of his business, what exactly is following up. And when we compare the same structure with a traditional bank, normally it happens is that you're not hiring or you're not having the people as per the customers per se. It is as per if he has understanding of the banking. But on the contrary, when we speak about Payoneer, the people of Payoneer are more of as per the customer per se.
Correct. So they have that language advantage. They also have a portfolio advantage. So the relationship managers sometimes also have similar kind of companies, similar kind of businesses. So they understand a lot about your business of how it works. So the kind of advisory that you need from them in anything around payments is much far more accurate in terms of
because they're tech weapon, they're data weapon. Normally, if we speak about traditional banks again, the RMs would not have tech in their hands. So because of the security, because of the compliance issues which they face, and then they again don't have that level of data to advise the customer. Data which is like not sensitive, not again going into that, which can be sensitive.
But at least offering intelligence in a way that helps the customer fine-tune their approach. Like for example, and if they're about to make a mistake, the RM can say, oh no, you should not try this. You should probably try to do this. So bunch of those things are there. So it's again acting more like a buddy to them than just being like another support agent on the phone. So
now as we have discussed so many things, the last 2 points, which is by far the most important for the podcast, I will discuss that. Before that, I will just summarize again what we have discussed till now. The first thing is about opening the account, which is far more easier, simpler, and more smooth, I would say. Then about receiving the payments, we discussed how easily you can receive the payments with different options. Then we discussed that how you can withdraw your funds in a much easier way, again, in a more smoother way and much lesser timeline compare when you are sending money outside. You are not able to get your goods because your payment is not received to the other partner. And that again solves the problem with Payoneer. Then discussing about the security and compliance for any business owner, it is very important that whatever money I make is safe or no. So you mentioned about NASDAQ, you mentioned about the Fortune 500 Fortune companies which are using already the Payoneer platform and are being used since a long time. Then we mentioned about the certifications, PCI, which has been given to Payoneer, which is which is being used by the tech giants of the world. Now coming to the most important part of it, that we have spoken all these, there is something related to it which you already mentioned it in terms of integrations. Well, we live in a world where integrations are super important. If you are using a CRM and it is not getting integrated with some of the third-party applications, so many applications are there. If you are doing anything which is not integrating with the world in terms of tech or something which is local, it is by far that you will get stuck somewhere. And there is a dead end. Payoneer cannot create a product for everyone, everybody. It's impossible. And even the tech giants understand that you really need to integrate with the third-party softwares. So you have mentioned that your products gets integrated with Amazon, Noon, eBay, I think.
Yeah, eBay.
Can you define more about this integration and how businesses can really leverage this? And this is very important because as Vanguard, we form a lot of e-commerce companies. we form a lot of digital marketing companies, many companies which really needs this kind of integration.
So I think integrations is truly, like you said, that no tech company can operate without the right set of integrations, and you need those integrations to be able to avoid using multiple platforms. So you don't want every time to go on to 5 different windows on your Chrome browser and use things here and there. So that's a very messy way of doing it. With Payoneer, I'll again break this down into 3 buckets. We have e-commerce integrations, we have platforms like freelance platform integration, and then we have everything else like design, travel, etc. Within e-commerce, we have a very strong coverage with all top marketplaces. You said that you work with, or you have helped a lot of e-commerce companies expand into the region over like so many years. With Payoneer, we integrate. We are already a trusted payments partner with Amazon, eBay, Walmart. These are the 3 big giants like everyone is aware of, and every e-commerce merchant's dream to sell on. We also integrate with Jumia. We also integrate with Katawiki, which is again a European marketplace, a small known one, not like super big, but very, very niche in that market. We work with Cdiscount. We work with known in the region. And then we work with a lot of other, we work with a few other marketplaces, but yeah, we work with in total like a big portfolio of e-commerce marketplaces, including the top names. In the second category, we work with freelance marketplaces.
Which is your service kind of.
Which is services.
It is trading terms, e-commerce.
E-commerce.
So anybody who wants to operate as an e-commerce trade in any of the platforms, you use these integrations. Then we have service level integrations.
I'll just touch upon one important thing since you said that the way integration works is when you are expanding into a country, when you open up a company, like for example in the Middle East, and you open up a Payoneer account, you can link that account to your Amazon marketplace directly. So when Amazon pays out your earnings of whatever products you have sold on the marketplace, that money automatically comes to your Payoneer wallet.
And that's what you need.
That's what you exactly need. So you don't have to struggle that how can I receive, you started selling on the marketplace and now you're again stuck at payments. So at some or the other stage in your selling journey, payments is going to ding you, right?
Yes.
To avoid all of that, you can connect your Payoneer account to Walmart. I've seen a lot of...
Sorry to cut you midway. In normal cases, I would like to tell you, maybe you're not aware, because I feel the pain point of my clients. As I mentioned, payments is the most unproductive thing. If you're going through a normal process, you mentioned direct connect for Payoneer. In normal bank process, if you're working with any of the platforms, I will not name it, you have to first of all provide your bank account opening letter. Then it should be well stamped, letterhead, then some of the documents supporting that this bank accounts belong to, this and that. Again, that documentation hassle. In case that bank account is closed, freeze, anything can happen with the bank. Then again, that changing process is so hassle. How it is catered in the Payoneer?
So I think with Payoneer, you don't have most of these issues at all. Again, when you are integrated with the marketplace, if I talk in the e-commerce context, you're directly linking to a Payoneer account which you have, which of course has to be verified and active. Amazon recognizes Payoneer already. We have a separate partnership with that marketplace at an organizational level, at an enterprise level. So when you link your Payoneer account, which is in the name of your company, and if that matches the name of the company on the Amazon marketplace, that integration is done. Finish. So you don't have to do anything of the things that you mentioned, that I have to go and submit this bank statement to Amazon. They will verify. They will say, no, it does not match. Since you're already on Payoneer and they recognize Payoneer, the job is almost done. So the only thing required here is to have a fully verified Payoneer account. Business detail, of course, matching of what you sell on Amazon and here, which is a standard requirement for anything. And then you just link your Payoneer account. It's finished. And you use that same account on Walmart, eBay, and all other marketplaces that you sell.
Well, this is truly exceptional, the way integration has been done. Again, I didn't mention a lot of pain points related to, again, linking this bank account in different geographies. I was just speaking about UAE, that you need to upload this, that. If you are in different geography, then the job becomes more difficult in terms of uploading your shareholders. There are many things.
Yeah.
The way this integration works is truly exceptional.
Yes.
So what in terms of the service level integration?
So service marketplaces are like, again, dominated by a few big players. Like Upwork.com is a big service marketplace. A lot of Asian, Indian diaspora find like really good employment through these marketplaces. When I say employment, as in like good projects from these marketplaces in terms of freelancers. I've personally seen I've personally worked in the Bangladesh market in the past, like in Payoneer, and I have seen a lot of freelancers get projects from Upwork.com, and it typically
Well, it works.
it works really well.
There is a lot of business out there. That's why we see in UAE a lot of Europeans especially are coming into this region and they're doing their business on own. They will come to us just for a freelancer license. And I want to mention on this platform one more thing. In some cases, if you don't need a license, there are some of the visas which we are helping as Dangad in terms of that if you already have a job in your country and you want to get a visa from the UAE, like a work permit and a visa, we help. It's a different type of visa. It is a 2 years visa, which is again by Dubai Tourism Corporation, which helps you keep on coming here and doing remote jobs. So there are multiple visa types from golden visa to these type of visa, which we all help them. So if you're coming to this country, if you don't want to set up your business, but to get visa and do work like this is also possible. But if you get a license, that of course makes you a big level of leap in terms of bringing your business to the next level. So in terms of getting the license and getting it as a freelance business license, which is far less costlier, can again get you the Payoneer account. Then of course you can go back, work on these service platforms as well.
Yeah, so very rightly said. In terms of the freelancers, solo businesses, I would say, or micro SMBs is like probably use that word. They can connect their Payoneer account with Upwork, freelancer.com, 99 Designs is a very popular one for designers and creative people. In a lot of these marketplaces, and they can get their payout from these marketplaces. Additionally, what I have seen is the payment link option is super popular. Once they get the clients here, they also work with them outside the marketplace. They can send them payment links and all those things, etc.
Yeah, because when you're coming from a different geography, you don't know how UAE bank accounting will work. How will you send? So rather than sending that, you're using pay by link and getting the payment. Then whatever payments you're getting, again, it is getting accommodated into accounting software as well. So you are VAT compliant as well. I mean, in terms of paying taxes. So really helpful, exceptional. That brings me to today's last and most important thing, which I've kept like a gold or a secret for the podcast. I really want and I really feel like that having one bank account as a local is super important to be more in terms of compliant in terms of the country, and then to grow as a business by a long term in a long way. But at the same time, it is very important to grow your business as well, and which is only possible when you are not thinking much about the payments issue. So I feel like that having one bank account together with mandatorily having a Payoneer account can really grow your business. What's your thought process on that, and how people can leverage, how Payoneer can be really that one mandatory account together with that one business account?
I think in terms of evangelizing that should you have a bank, should you have a Payoneer, the idea to look at it should be a bit differently. If you are running a global business, which is getting paid from clients overseas, having a Payoneer account makes it a lot more easier to manage those kind of things, because it's something that we do really good at. So the idea is not to undermine anything else that some other platform may not be better or anything of that sort. Something that we have been doing for many years, we have done for millions of SMBs all over the globe, and something that truly stands out for Payoneer. So that's one part of it. Having a traditional bank account again is equally important. If you work in a local market, you want to collect local currencies, you want to use something like checks, or something that we don't do, so those will still be there. So Payoneer, you should not see Payoneer as something which is replacing something. You should see Payoneer as a fintech platform or payments assistant that you need to expand and grow your business. So of course things can run in parallel, in tandem as well, and you could tandem as well, and you could basically use multiple platforms all at once, using each platform to its strength. Our strengths are global payments. Our strengths are global payouts. If you are business is involved in both of these things, you should use Payoneer. So that's truly the essence of what we are trying to do. Not trying to see anybody as competition or any of those things. I think the most important part for us is to make the SMB successful. And if we are able to make them successful, help make their life easy, eliminate some of the pain points. Of course, we may not be able to eliminate all the pain points that an SMB would face, but if we can address some of those pain points really well, then I think our job is well done.
Well, thank you so much for mentioning that. And with this, we can end our today's podcast. It was really exceptional speaking to you, Kavish. More features coming. We'll sit together again, how we can really help the businesses, as their growth is directly linked to our growth. We as Dangad are able to help them in many aspects. And with Payoneer, we'll be able to help them more. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much again for to you and the entire team to host me and Payoneer today. Like really commendable, I would say. Like something I would want to probably add to end this personally, that it's very like a lot of companies provide services, a lot of companies do things for clients, but going a step ahead, going a mile ahead and creating something for the customer where they can easily find answers to some of the biggest pain points which cause them headaches is truly exceptional in the way that you guys are doing here. And I'm sure that also truly helps Dangad stand out from everyone else in the region. So like super thankful again and hoping to see you on the next one.
Thank you so much, Kavish.